Alright, so here we go. I'm going to be heading out to a place in Whitby called Lynde Shores, and yeah, let's see what I end up finding out there, and I'll guide you through settings and what the differences of those settings makes, and you'll be able to see exactly what different shutter speeds, aperture, and all that stuff, how much of a difference all that makes, and what it all means. Alright, let's go! So here we are on the long road out to Lynde Shores. There's a lot of wilderness out here. There's usually a fair amount of wildlife, wild turkeys. If we're lucky, there'll be some deer. What else have I seen? Well, there's a lot of birds and stuff like that too. But yeah, so it's a pretty great day today, completely overcast. So we'll see how it goes. So just got to Lynde Shores. We're going to be heading down this way where that other photographer is. There's some wild turkeys and I did see a deer. That's why I'm talking a little quiet. I'm not sure where the deer went though. But yeah, this is basically just a whole whack of wilderness out here. It's pretty sick though. Really, really cool place to be. Alright, let's go see what we can get. Yeah, so I just got to the foot of Lake Ontario. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. I just had to put my glove on. And yeah, as soon as I arrived, I was greeted by these fun guys. And right now I'm using ISO 400, aperture f5.6, and 1/125th of a second. But yeah, right away, got greeted by these little guys, or big guys, or, you know, Canada geese. So the one that's closest to me, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to try to get a shot of just his head, but he won't turn around, which isn't helping at all. Okay, and it's a little too dark, so I'm changing it to 1/50th of a second. Hopefully he doesn't move too much. And yeah, he moved. So that's no good. Actually, you know what? Alright, let's try that again. Alright, so 1/50th of a second, and you'll see what that actually does. I'll keep it at that. Actually, the light's changing, so 1/60th of a second, which should be almost perfect. Now I'll drop it down a bit to let a bit more light in. So I'm down to 1/80th of a second. But if it keeps moving, it's going to be blurry. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop moving. I didn't mean to scare you. Alright, yeah, I totally missed that one. Focus was off. Focus on the wrong thing. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to get a very creamy background, or creamy lake shot. So we're going to take that, throw my camera on the tripod, and yeah, I'll show you how to actually get that whole creamy water thing going on. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm set up on the tripod, but this goose won't get out of the way. He's ruining the shot. Oh boy. Alright, anyway. Well, with the goose in the way, you'll still be able to figure out what I'm talking about here. So right now, because it's a really cloudy day, usually if it's really bright out, you know, I'd have the ISO set at the lowest level possible with a fairly fast shutter speed. But my settings right now are 1/400th of a second shutter speed, f5.6, and ISO 1600. And I set it to a 2-second timer to minimize any camera shaking. even though I don't need to do that yet. But when I try to make the water all silky smooth, that's when the timer actually comes into play. So yeah, here's what standard regular shot would look like. If this goose would just move, man. Come on, move. Yeah, you, move. Get out of here, man. I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright, ready? Okay, so that's all set up. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so you can see how the water... Okay, so you can see how the water is, the splashes of water are perfectly caught, like in real action. So now, since I don't have a filter that fits this lens, I'm going to have to put my aperture up all the way and then change the ISO to 100, down from 1600. And what that does is it lets in the least amount of light possible, which is the same as if you're using a neutral density filter. It lets in less light, so the shutter has to stay open longer. And with the shutter staying open longer, it actually, that's pretty much what makes everything turn into motion blur. So, we'll take a shot and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so this guy here still thinks I have something for him. But I don't. He doesn't believe me. But I'm going to take a shot of him. Alright, so let's do it. Change my settings, put it back to standard mode to make sure that there's no timer set up. Oh, and he disappeared, so you know what? I'll take a shot of this guy here. See how that turns out. All right.